The market value of cryptocurrencies fell on Thursday, signaling a drop in the initial excitement surrounding President Biden's new executive order on digital assets. According to capital market company Coinmetrics, Bitcoin was down more than 6% earlier today. Other cryptocurrencies, including Ether and XRP, were also trading lower. Several digital assets were priced higher Wednesday after the president announced his executive order. The order establishes the first ever federal strategy for regulating cryptocurrencies in response to their explosive growth across the country. It encourages financial regulators to identify and mitigate the risks digital assets pose to the financial system and U.S. economy. Joining us now for more on this is David Wachsman. He is the CEO of Wachsman PR, a public relations firm in New York City. David, welcome. Great to have you with us. So, isn't the point of a cryptocurrency to be outside of government regulation? So once governments get involved, doesn't that mean the value of cryptocurrencies are inevitably going to fall?
Well, actually, it turns out that although cryptocurrencies don't rely on a government to exist, they do rely on companies to exist, and those companies are regulated by governments. So this is totally appropriate. This is great news, actually, for the crypto industry. Some might say, I certainly do, that Joe Biden just gave crypto companies a green light to exist. What they have to do is behave responsibly.
So basically, you're saying that this means that cryptocurrencies have now gotten the legitimate stamp of approval instead of existing sort of outside in this universe that to some seems a little murky. Now they are accepted and basically mainstream.
Indeed. We just heard Joe Biden say that cryptocurrencies can be important for the future of the U.S. economy. And he didn't just mean the rich people at the top, the investors. He meant the middle class and the working class. And he was trying to find ways in his executive order of making sure that payments and remittances, for example, benefit from using cryptocurrency type technology. There's a few other pieces of it. For example, the advent of what's called the central bank digital currency. Right now, there's only two forms of currency that exist in America. You've got your metal coins and you've got your paper notes. Joe Biden said we need to build a crypto version of that, or likely we'll need to build a crypto version of that called the central bank digital currency or a digital dollar, and that should be coming soon.
So, David, you seem to be, approving of the president's move, but there are some in the space who are calling it defensive and aren't such big fans of it. Can you give us the other perspective?
Certainly. Well, there's two parts. There's the people in the crypto industry who are ardent libertarians and don't want any sort of regulation whatsoever. I understand what they're saying, but for companies to thrive in the United States of America and beyond, there needs to be investor protections. There needs to be some rules. And Joe Biden is asking for reasonable rules. He's doing this in league with the industry as opposed to against the industry. And that is great news for, I think, America, but certainly for the crypto industry here too.
Working in tandem. Interesting. Okay, so President Biden's executive order does come after officials raised concerns that Russia could use cryptocurrencies to evade the impact of these crippling U.S. sanctions. Do you think Russia would have been able to elude these sanctions using crypto without action from U.S. officials?
Not in any material way. The fact is, Russia would need to find some way to convert from foreign currencies into crypto and then from crypto back into some sort of rubles, and they simply don't have the mechanism to do that at scale. Not to mention, one more thing that's worth noting is that on a blockchain like Bitcoin, every single transaction is logged forever. And so it's very easy to track down illicit transactions, and crypto forensics companies have done a great job of being able to advance their technology. And organizations like the FBI are able to track these, what are called money laundering type maneuvers.
So what's your take on these digital assets when it comes to international war, right? I mean, can they be used? How can they be used? How can they be abused?
Well, one great thing they can be used for is to raise money. So right now, we've already seen that tens of millions of dollars has been raised for Ukraine by crypto enthusiasts all over the world. They're investing into things like, through endowment, things like Ukraine DAO, which is an organization, an online organization. It's taking money from people all over the world, generous people who want Ukraine to simply survive and rebuild, and they're pooling a lot of money that way. It's a fantastic thing.
All right. David Wachsman, thank you so much for sharing your insight into cryptocurrencies with us. We really appreciate it.
Great to be on. Thanks, Tanya.